So another Adventures in Google Ads, video 3. This is about an electrician that I worked with many years ago. And this electrician, I taught them how to do Google Ads. The one thing special about them, this is very important, is this person was highly analytical and had a keen sense of people and psychology. When you have those two things, you can learn Google Ads very quickly, because what Google Ads is asking you when you're logged in and answering questions and picking keywords and writing text ads is they're asking you, what do you want me to tell your ideal client about you? And when do you want me to show you on Google? And someone who understands how to explain it in a very precise, analytical way, not like a director mentality where they're vague, not like an expressive mentality where they're emotional, not like an amiable mentality where they just want to be friends with everybody, but an analytical mentality where they communicate precisely. That's very good when you're managing Google Ads, because Google Ads needs precise communication and a sense of psychology, a sense of understanding people is very important, because you have to understand your customers to be able to tell Google what to tell your customers, how to phrase things and all that. So this electrician learned Google Ads very quickly, probably within 3 hours, 3 1-hour sessions. I would visit them once a month, once every 2 months, look at everything, go over new stuff. They would read every email that Google sent them because they were the manager on their own account. You know, I'm not the manager of their account. They have full control. And they would call me if there was a change going on with Google. They would call me and ask me to explain it. They kept up with it very well. They looked at their Google Ads every day. They grew from, I think, just a few trucks to over 15 trucks very quickly. They managed the business very well. They had 3 people answering the phones because they could tell when Google Ads was generating phone calls and when they weren't. And they knew when it was going to generate phone calls and what time of day more phone calls came in. They knew what kind of campaign to use. And they experimented with call-only campaigns, with that Google Guaranteed Service campaign or local service provider or LSA ads, as well as doing manual ads. The other thing they did very well is they communicated to me everything they did. Now, you and I, you know, if you're listening and you're just a common person that knows a little bit about electricians, you probably think they replace electrical panels, replace fuses, run wires, add plugs to your house, you know, things like that, right? Run electricity to your new gazebo or whatever. But they do way more than that. They replace pool lights. Well, I didn't know that until she told me. Then she showed me she had a page on her website for it. So we made a campaign just for that. It did really well. Then she told me they install chandeliers. I never would have thought of that. Set up a campaign for that. Well, guess what? The clicks were super cheap because nobody else was running a campaign for that. So there's nobody else in the bid auction. So her ability to communicate with me, everything they do, especially the stuff I had no idea they did, really benefited that company a lot. And you can imagine it's not cheap to pay someone to come out and install a chandelier. They got to rent a lift. It's not like they just grab it and hang it up on a hook on the ceiling and splice some wires together. It's way more than that. And it went very well because of their diligence, the student's diligence. I shouldn't call him a student, they're a business owner. And she became as good or better at Google Ads than me, just because she just stayed on top of it and she was disciplined. And every day she looked at her campaign. And if she thought anything was going wrong, she immediately tried to fix it. If she couldn't, she called me or she called Google. And she had her own rep at Google and developed a good relationship with that person. So this is a success story of a student. And I'm telling you their ideal mindset. I'm telling you the type of person they are. And I'm telling you some of their habits so that you can use Google Ads as your tool or your employee, basically. You want Google Ads to be your employee. And in order to have a good relationship with an employee, you have to understand them top to bottom, and you have to keep a good eye on them, and you have to inspect what they're doing. And that's exactly what they did. She kept an eye on everything, and when she needed help, she did not hesitate to ask for it. And that campaign ran really well for a very long time. And this is from a long time ago. I believe they've sold the business, but she did get to a point where she didn't need me anymore. She might call me once every 2 years just for a quick question, and I wouldn't even charge her because I'm just driving, answering questions, you know. But I also knew that she wasn't neglecting the campaign, and she was all over it. So this is an adventure in Google Ads that's a good story that went on very well. The other part is that she had good control over the digital world, the website, all the campaigns, social media, everything. And they had good, it was a husband and wife team. They had good control over the physical world. The husband managed the guys, the trucks, all that stuff. And it worked really well. So this is a good success story. And there's no quicksand in this story. There's no speed bumps. It's just all good stuff that happened that everybody can learn from, including myself if I ever do anything besides Google Ads freelancing, but I don't see myself doing anything else. So give me a call if you want to hear more about this story, or if you need help setting up a campaign or learning how to manage your own campaign, or if you just need somebody to take over managing it because you're sick of looking at it. Chris Guidry with Sefri Agency.